loved it. Anyway, last week I tweeted this thing, which came from like, I've been kind of interested in trying to be more mindful of my mental health fluctuations in general and try and find out why they happen and sort of, I don't know, make up some kind of cheat code to make them happen a little bit less, even though I'm also trying to just feel pain and see it as, you know, the opposite side of feeling good and the necessary. You know, you can't feel good without having some pain to compare it to, but you're also kind of like, okay, but I don't want to feel this much pain this often, so I think I have enough pain to compare good to for the rest of my life. But anyway, I've been thinking about how I'm always worse at night. And I actually made like an Instagram story that I thought was pretty good like a month ago. I'm just gonna put it in here. I try not to edit, but I think I already have in this video. Listen to this. You're fine. Literally stop. You're on a phone in a bed. That's it. That's all. You're not dying. You're not in trouble. You're not the worst. You didn't mess it all up. You messed a few things up. Like, no, I'll give you that. I'm not gonna lie to you. But not all of it. Like, that would be hard. Like, you couldn't pull that off. No offense. And they're not mad. They don't hate you. They literally just don't feel like doing the whole thing right now. That's fair. And honestly, like, do you even? Right? I'm not mad. No, it's hard to see because like you've been doing this for forever. Like the moon comes out and you catastrophize and you think it's like worse than it is. It's bad. No. You're actually right about that. No, I will give that to you. Like it is bad, but like, is it as bad as nighttime is making it seem right now? No, you're lacking daytime context. You'll get it tomorrow. Relax the shoulders. Literally nighttime. The only time, by the way, that is designed and designated specifically for you to relax. And here you are doing the opposite of your job right now. I hate to be bossy, but clock in. Wow. Did you hear? He's nice. He helped me. I really want to just kiss him like no one's ever been kissed. Anyway, I've been thinking about how I guess I already said it there, and wasn't it a kissable clip? You know, I just am constantly getting wrapped up because I think that the more time I spend by myself, or anybody, I guess, all that's going on is you are alone in a room with a computer or all of your thoughts, and that doesn't tend to go well unless you have people to bounce off of, things outside to look at, new air to breathe in, and it sucks. And I realize that a lot of times the thoughts I'm having pertain to like, around like 9 or 10, I'll start thinking, what am I even doing? Why do I do all these things? For what? Am I happy? I don't think I should have gone with this job. I don't think I should have made a Patreon. Like whatever it is, I'm freaking out about everything. Like it turns into this overallness that doesn't seem to be there around the afternoon. So I tweeted, I made a new rule, never trust how you feel about your entire life past 9 p.m. And whenever I tweet something, I don't know if you do this, I don't know if you tweet. Do you? Reasons just kind of in my brain, and I wanted to just get on here and talk about it because I'm having the urge that I have when I feel this way to just kind of hide again, you know, get off the internet, delete everything, not do videos anymore, literally like find a hotel hours away, go to the woods and just like lose my mind in private. Like I always have this instinct to just like, I want to go wild. If I'm gonna feel wild, why don't I just like run around a city I've never been to and just like scream, you know? And maybe that would do me some good, but I think that I would freak everybody out. And you know, I'm constantly like in this battle with myself of like, should I try to be more normal of a person, or do I just have like a, not even animalistic, but almost like alien need in me to just like go crazy and prove to everybody that I'm not normal and I don't want to be, and I want to just like freak out because I feel like I'm freaking out all the time in normal situations where I'm acting all normal, but in my head it's like this party full of strangeness that I kind of enjoy sometimes, but I'm equally just as afraid of. And last night, I don't know how to explain it, but I just started, I don't know if it's mania. I'm kind of like half diagnosed bipolar by psychiatrists, kind of like they say, oh yeah, I think you are, but I'd have to see you manic. Oh no, you do seem manic, but I'm just a therapist or a psychiatrist who said, yeah, but I'm not gonna put it down for insurance. You know, all these things that lead you to feel like, okay, well, what do I have to do? Do I have to like go through a boot camp and be checked in on every 5 minutes for a year, and then you'll give me what, a ticket that says I'm officially bipolar, and then what do I do? I don't even know what the thing is for, but I do know, I mean, I know the importance of diagnosis and how it can help people, but what I know is that I feel really strange sometimes, in a way where I feel like I'm completely out of control, but at the same time very aware of it, and sort of, and I think that's based on, I've been having these headaches, and then I get convinced that I've eaten too much sugar, and I'm not on a non-inflammatory diet, and my brain is inflamed, and maybe it slightly is, or maybe I have a tumor, and all these kind of hypochondriac rationalizations I come to when I think, or I'd like to believe, that I'm just not able to accept that maybe anxiety and stress and possible mania have much more of a hold on my physical body than I'm willing to admit, because sometimes it's more comforting to just think maybe there's some kind of disease that, or not even comforting, but like I always have this fear that like, what if there's something I'm missing? I've heard a few stories of family members, people who went to the doctor and they thought it was just headaches, and turns out they died a week later. I don't want to be that guy, you know, while I'm, you know, telling people I kind of want to die, but I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to, I'm constantly terrified that I'm walking around with some undiagnosed thing, and it's just a ticking time bomb, and my life has to be this, like, you know, the meme of the guy from the show, you know what I'm talking about, with all the stuff on the wall, like a detective. Like, that's just finding what's wrong with my body before I die. Like, there's just bomb strapped to my chest, but the bomb is whatever is wrong with me, but the bomb might just be stress and anxiety. Because I feel like if I asked any doctor or psychologist, like, hey, by the way, can anxiety, stress, and bipolar completely make you feel a lot of things in your body that kind of feel like dying? And they'd be like, yeah, no, it can literally, it's so connected. But then even if they said that, I'd be like, okay, yeah, but you also could be dying, right? And they'd go, I'm afraid that tonight is gonna be even worse, you know? I'm afraid that I just always get this urge of like, I should just go to a hotel. I don't even want to be in an apartment complex right now. I mean, luckily, like right now I have the privilege to be able to get myself a hotel room for the night. If I do that every time I feel insane, I probably would run out of money, or definitely would. Sometimes I just do that because I'm like, I don't want... People freak out in hotels, but in apartment complexes you have to see your neighbor and look them in the eyes the next day. That's not true. You don't have to look your neighbor in the eyes, and I've proved that time and time again. There is no rule, and boy am I glad. But I guess I sound fairly clear-headed right now, which is good, but I'm just developing this, I think, you know, 2020 summer, I think it was so traumatically not good for my, like, I had this real sense of, like, I don't know how much I've gotten into it, but I was genuinely, like, afraid to go outside, like, as in the front porch, like, as in 10 steps away from my apartment, like, as in I would walk to the liquor store and be actually terrified. And I'm talking about, like, a 2-minute walk across the street. I mean, I remember there was a time where I had to walk across I got in the car with somebody, and I had to get out of the car because I was so terrified, and I would get dizzy whenever I'd be almost anywhere outside of my room. I mean, sometimes even the living room, I would get dizzy, and I had to get out of the car, and I didn't want them to drive me home even after I had felt like I'd calmed down a little bit. So I had to walk home like 45 minutes, but I was terrified because it was my biggest fear of why I didn't want to go outside, because I'd get stuck in a distance that was too far for me to walk without freaking out, you know? And I just remember this time that I had to walk across, like, the crosswalk. and I couldn't do it, and I just paced around the crosswalk for like a half an hour because something about, you know, I could kind of deal with just like a straight sidewalk without interruptions, but something about that, like stepping out and maybe being hit by a car who wasn't paying attention somehow. I don't know. A lot of stuff like that, and I think that last night kind of reminded me of that, and I think there's a lot of like flashback type of stuff to that time of my life, and maybe your life, maybe a lot of people's life, that real darkness. I mean, I think that sometimes I say a lot more when all I really need to say is, can you just tell me it's okay even if you're lying? And I feel like I talk about this stuff too much, and I feel like a broken record sometimes, and I've been told that I am. But I just want to talk about it because I don't want to go hide. I don't really think it's worth it anymore, and I've proven time and time again to myself that it doesn't really help. It doesn't really help to just go, oh, let me just take a 1.5 year mental health. People online and getting this sort of, I know, unfair sense of like, oh, I see all you mentally ill people talking, but like, you don't understand, like, you're not my level. Like, I've yet to see somebody on my level. Because maybe I've talked about this before. It's something I've thought about, is like, you don't really get a chance to see people making relatable memes and content or writing a lot unless it's in retrospect about completely losing your mind or completely going into a depression, because a lot of those times someone isn't fit to post on the internet or talk to people about it, or they're wandering the streets, you know, or they don't have internet access, or they're afraid to talk, you know, they don't know how to form words. Like, I feel like you miss a certain level of it because it isn't always able to be verbalized, you know, or shown, because the symptom of it is such disorganized thinking, or is such deep isolation. And I think it can lead me to, when I feel like I've gotten to this point where I'm like, why is everyone talking about this functional version of anxiety, this functional version of depression? Not that it's not as hard, and not that I don't go through a more functional version of it a lot of my life, but sometimes, you know, I see someone wandering the streets talking to themselves. Maybe this will piss somebody off that I'm saying this, but I feel more connected to them than, you know, the anxiety memes online. And I'm not saying that that's me, and I'm not saying that I have the same amount of privilege as them, and I know there's a big difference, but sometimes I'm like, yeah, no, I feel I'd rather, I don't know, not I'd rather. That thing I was talking about earlier, it's like, if you forget something, Drew, and if you don't interrupt her right now, you're gonna forget to say that one symptom that is, she's gonna hear and then check a part of your body and look at you. I'm always waiting for the doctor to go, uh-oh, and like, you know, I'll, you know, cut to like a movie, the woo, like me, the doctors are like, how long has this been going on? And I'm like, I didn't know, I tried to tell you.